And now to the humanitarian crisis in Sudan, where today marks 3 years actually, since the country civil war began. Tens of thousands have been killed in a power struggle between the Sudanese armed forces and the Rapid Support Forces, or RSF. Violence intensified Friday when armed groups attacked a camp where about 500,000 people had taken shelter. For more now, we're joined by the CEO of Doctors Without Borders in the U.S., Avril Benoît. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We understand Doctors Without Borders had been providing medical care for a time, but had to suspend those operations due to the violence. Give us a sense of what your teams are seeing on the ground in Sudan now.
Yeah, well, we are working in many areas of Sudan, but in the area that we're talking about here around Zamzam camp in Sudan's Darfur region, we were providing life-saving medical care in the camp, which has about 500,000 people living under siege, suffering from famine. And in February, we were forced to suspend all activities because of an earlier attack, and just relentless insecurity was making it impossible to safely deliver aid and stay. What we have emerging from that particular location is absolutely horrific. Large-scale killings, estimates of hundreds of people dead, including 9 aid workers from the humanitarian organization Relief International, who were operating the only remaining health facility in this huge camp. This attack on Zamzam camp should shock us all, and we're just trying to recover now in a location about 40 miles away where 24,000 people have fled from the camp. They've gone to this town called Tawila, where they were severely dehydrated, the children malnourished, traumatized from seeing so much violence against their family members, many of whom they've lost contact with, children dying of thirst, traveling for a couple of days under the burning, scorching sun just to reach this town. And that's where we're trying to support the hospital and working in a health post, providing some basic health care and really trying to ramp up at this point.
And what's the condition of the patients who you've had to relocate?
Just awful. And we do have around 30 patients suffered from gunshot wounds who managed to make it to this town of Tawila. We had a number of people who were dead upon arrival. We're adding a lot of tents right now to be able to offer that hospital capacity. And as I mentioned, in addition to the wounded, in addition to the ones who are malnourished, dehydrated, we also had to respond to an outbreak of measles with many children in Tawila in need of urgent treatment. And so all in all, a catastrophic situation. And we really must worry about those who remained behind in Zamzam camp while it was under attack by the RSF forces, and who were unable to flee or are still making their way across this arid, scorching land in the heat without any supports to try to find some place where they can be safe for a while.
This, of course, isn't the first time militias have targeted aid facilities. Can you speak to their brutal tactics and the human toll of this conflict, particularly for women and children?
It's been absolutely horrific. And as you know, I mean, the numbers are stunning. 13 million people displaced from this conflict in Sudan, half the population in acute need of food, only a fraction of humanitarian aid that is needed is being delivered. And we keep hearing of dreadful violence against civilians. I spent some time myself in Darfur some while ago, also in the refugee camps in Chad, where many of the minority groups from different parts of Darfur had sought refuge. And they told stories of their villages being attacked, warring parties just taking all their things, a lot of sexual violence, stunning levels of violence against civilians. And it's one of the reasons that, with so many disruptions to the ability even of humanitarian organizations, even the UN, to safely deliver aid, these people have been going without for a few years now.
With nearly 13 million people displaced and more than 65% of people living in poverty, what is Doctors Without Borders asking of the international community?
Well, for sure, we're calling once again for a respect to the humanitarian aid, but above all, the attacks against medical staff, facilities, convoys, hospitals have to stop. We have to stop this dreadful violence against civilians. There has been just rampant war crimes, and that includes the obstruction of aid by the warring parties. It's one of those situations where we just need a greater international response to the humanitarian crisis in the country, and for the attacks on civilians and the obstruction of aid just to stop.
Well, we thank you so much for the work that you're doing. Really appreciate it. And we'll be right back. Avril Benoît, CEO of Doctors Without Borders. Thank you.
Thank you.